Hi, so today we're going to do a little bit of core release on our back. And this is really going to help ease back pain, low back pain, and just sort of loosen up the front of your core as well as the back of the core. So we're going to start laying down. I have a strap here. It's just a really simple strap. You don't have to have a strap, but if you don't have a strap, you could use anything like a scarf, a belt, or like I said, you don't need to use a strap. You can just hold on to your leg. So first we're gonna come to a laying down position. I have both feet on the floor. I'm gonna take the strap, one end in each of my hands, and I'm gonna extend my right leg straight forward. Wrapping the strap around the wide part of the foot. I wanna hold the strap taut as I can, and extend the leg as much as I can, as straight as I can. It's okay if you can't get it fully straight, but make your best effort to straighten the leg, and then either keeping the left foot on the floor or you could extend the left leg straight forward down the mat. So here, I'm making sure the back of my head is resting into the floor, my shoulders are resting into the earth, and especially the front of the shoulders are relaxed, even though I'm holding on to the strap quite tightly. Here I'm going to reach through the heel towards the ceiling and bring the toes a little more towards the face and just noticing what's going on in the back of the leg. I'm feeling quite tight this morning. And also pressing the low back into the floor. And we're just staying here. I can bend my elbows a little bit if I want to attempt to draw the leg closer towards my face, towards the head, but really my goal here is to have as straight of a right leg as I can and relaxing everything, my back, my hips, the back of the head, the tops of the shoulders, shoulder blades into the floor, and breathing. So really feeling the extension up the right hamstring. Again, feeling super tight this morning. So just taking some time here, breathing some real deep breaths into the back of the leg, sending the breath through the whole body, and being here for 3 more breaths. One more breath, really feeling the breath fill the belly, fill the chest, fill the back body. Good, and now I'm going to bring both ends of the strap into my right hand. And again, I'm going to hold that strap as tight as I can. Again, if you don't have a strap here, you could also be just holding on to the back of the leg, or if you have more space, the top of the calf. Or you could even do peace sign fingers, reaching towards the big toes or grabbing the big toes. But no matter what position you take, just make sure the rest of your back, neck, head, and shoulders are relaxing under the earth. So again, bringing the strap into the right hand. I'm gonna bring my left hand on top of my left thigh just to keep it grounded. And I'm going to open my leg to the right, to its degree. It might be a little bit, or maybe you can go deeper. You could also bring your elbow to the floor and act as a bit of a prop. If you don't have the strap here, you could make a prop with the hand and just lay the leg there. But I'm holding on to my strap, I'm holding it nice and tight. And again, I don't want to go so far that my left hip is lifting up. So I'm keeping my left hip grounded. I'm going to bring the elbow to the floor just for support. And again, I'm keeping the leg as straight as I can keep it. And here, when I get to my full extension, I'm going to rotate my toes towards the floor just a little bit, the heel a little bit more towards the sky, and just noticing what's going on in the hamstring, in the leg, if I feel anything different. Deep breaths here. Two more breaths. One more breath. Good, and then I'm gonna bring the leg back to center, and I'm gonna switch both ends of the strap into the left hand. Again, I'm holding this nice and tight, and I'm going to bring the leg over towards the left. So my right leg over towards the left. And if you're able to, I'm gonna scoot my hips a little bit over to the right. If you're able to, bring your foot, the inside of the foot, all the way to the floor. So as you can see here, my right hip is coming off the mat. And if this doesn't feel good, again, just take your leg to your degree of extension while keeping the leg as straight as can be. But if you're able to, bringing the leg across the body, keeping the foot flexed, the right foot flexed, toes towards the face. The leg as straight as it can get. And then just breathe in here. I'm bringing the right arm into a cactus. You could also lengthen the right arm long. You could bring the right arm over the head, but I really like the cactus here, keeping the right shoulder blade pressing into the floor. But yes, as you can see, my right hip is lifted off the mat, my left hip on the mat. And I'm just breathing here. This actually feels super good. So breathing deep into the low back, the back of the leg, the hamstring. But again, just making sure the rest of the body is really relaxed, feeling the back of the head pressing into the earth, noticing all the parts of your body pressing into the earth, feeling the earth beneath you supporting your body as you breathe 3 more deep breaths here. Last big breath. Good, and then very carefully bringing the leg back to center. And then I'm going to bend the knee and release the strap and place the foot on the floor. The left foot on the floor, I'm scooting my hips back to center. And maybe just neutralizing the knees kissing for a moment, both feet flat on the floor. Placing my strap to the side. Good, now both feet flat on the floor. I'm gonna continue on the right side. We'll do everything on the right side and then switch to the left. Although at this point, after you see everything that we're doing, you could switch left side and do the strap on the left side. But I'm gonna do 2 more poses, 2 more positions here. First on the right. The right knee coming on top of the left knee. So my left foot is on the floor, right knee on top of the left knee, and then I'm gonna pick up the feet. I'm gonna lift up my upper body and I'm gonna grab the outer ankles or outer shins. And here, I mean, really my hands are on top of the ankle more or less. And here I'm going to relax the head, neck, and shoulders back. So again, here you may need to move the hands up to the shin instead, or if you're able to grab the ankles, that's fine. Some people grab the feet, but I don't personally like grabbing the feet because there's a tendency to sort of sickle the foot there. So holding onto the ankles, I like to flex the feet. And then here, instead of letting the heels drop towards the seat, there's a bit of a lifting up and pulling the legs apart. So yes, a little bit of an active lifting of the legs and pulling the ankles or the shins apart from each other. So I'm creating a bit of a T with the top of the leg and the bottom of the leg. And again here, making sure both hips are grounded into the floor. You're really feeling this deep in the right hip, but maybe in both hips. And relaxing here. Again, there's activity in the arms as I'm lifting and pulling, bending the elbows, pulling the feet and the ankles apart from each other. But again, notice I'm not dropping the heels towards the seat. I'm lifting and pulling them apart. This is Supta Gomukhasana. So laying on your back, cow face pose. You can do this in a seated position, but in this position, we're not having as much stress on the knees and really focusing on the release in the hips and especially the low back. And breathing here. Again, just making sure the back of the head, the neck, the shoulder blades are pressing into the earth, relaxing into the earth. Even the front of the shoulders, they are, like I said, there's activity in the arms, but the front of the shoulders are relaxed back, so you're able to lay back and lie down on the earth. 3 more deep breaths here. Really focusing on sending the breath deep into the hips. 2 more breaths. One more breath. And then I'm going to release my hands. I'm going to place the left foot on the floor. I'm keeping the right knee on top of the left. I'm going to place the hands on the mat and lift up the hips and scoot the hips just an inch to the right. And then I'm going to lower both knees to the left for a twist. If this is a lot on the back or anywhere in the body, you can always place a block or something under the knees. And I'm going to bring either the right arm long, or again, I'm partial to cactusing the elbow. And I'm breathing here. In a supine spinal twist, I like to put the left hand just laying on the left knee or the left thigh, or sorry, on top of the right knee or the right thigh. And yes, you could gaze over the right shoulder, but for the purpose of today, I'm going to keep the gaze just straight up because I'm really just focusing on the stretch in the low back, the right side. Again, just releasing the core here. The anterior front core and the posterior back core. Because of course your core muscles are not just in the front of the body, they are in the front and the back. Deep breathing here. Closing the eyes, bringing your awareness internally. 3 more deep breaths. Good, and then I'm going to bring the knees back to center, both feet flat on the floor, pick up the hips, move the hips back to center, and just bringing the feet wide, letting the knees knock together, maybe even the right hand on the heart, the left hand on the belly, taking a deep breath here, and letting it go. Great, and now moving into the left side. I'm going to flip around for the purpose of the left side here. Oh, but my right side already feels so much better. Okay, right leg is long, left foot on the floor, I'm taking the strap. And again, if you didn't have the strap, you could literally just extend the leg and have the hands interlaced behind the left thigh. Or if you have more space, the left calf or the peace sign fingers grabbing the big toes. But here, this is a lot for me this early in the morning. You want to be able to make sure you can relax the head, neck, and shoulders back. So I'm taking my strap, placing it around the wide end of the foot, kind of the ball of the foot, and very carefully, easily, gently, the leg straight up to the sky. You're going to feel quite a difference in this side. Again, you can always have the right foot staying on the floor. I'm going to extend the right leg long. And my right leg is a little bit active, reaching to the heel. It's awake, it's alive. And really trying to stretch the leg, the left leg, as straight as you can get it. And once it's nice and straight to your degree, maybe the heel reaching a little more towards the sky, the toes a little more towards the face, and just notice what's changing in the leg here. So on this side, I'm feeling super tight compared to the other side, but that's where I started on the right side. So I'm just excited to be here in this stretch and feel some release. So again, I'm focusing here on just the parts of the body connected to the mat and to the earth, especially releasing that left hip, the left low back, the sacrum, pressing into the earth, the back of the head into the earth. And the shoulders, especially the front of the shoulders. So I'm not like lifted up here, I'm really relaxed. And yes, my arms are holding the strap really nice and tight and taut, but my shoulders are relaxed. So yes, there's activity in the hands and the forearms and the arms in general, but my shoulders continue to be relaxed. And I'm gonna stay here and breathe, let's say 3 more deep breaths. I would recommend maybe about 10 breaths in each of the poses. So obviously the leg up, the leg out to the left, the leg over to the right. About 10 breaths each will really make a difference. You'll really feel the difference in the body. All right, 2 more breaths here. One more breath. And then switching the strap, both ends of the strap into my left hand. And again, I'm holding the strap nice and tight. So again, notice I'm not holding the strap way down here. I mean, you can hold it down, but for me, it's easier to keep it nice and taut the closer my arm is or my hand is to the foot. My right hand's coming on top of my right thigh. Just a reminder to keep that thigh bone and that hip pressing down. And I'm just gonna start to open the left leg. Gently, easily, maybe even bringing the elbow to the floor for a little bit of support. And breathing here. And once I get to my lowest point here of opening, I'm gonna just tilt the toes slightly towards the floor, the heel a little more towards the sky. And just notice if I feel any difference in the stretch in the hamstring, the inner thigh, the leg. And again, keeping this right hip, right thigh grounded. Three more breaths here. One more breath. Really fill the body with your breath. Good. And then bringing that leg back to center. I'm switching the strap into the right hand. I'm going to scoot the hips just a little bit over to the left. Now, with my leg nice and straight, my strap in my right hand, I'm going to bring that leg across the body. Now, if you just go a little bit, you're really going to feel this in the IT band. Oh, I especially feel it outside my left knee. And that might be plenty, but to really get the full effect of the release in the core, I'm going to allow this left hip to lift up, and I'm going to attempt to bring the inside of the left foot all the way onto the floor. Then I'm going to release the left arm, long or cactus. And I really feel this in my low back. Really nice stretch. I'm just going to breathe here. And yes, my left leg is extended, and yes, I'm holding onto the strap, but my leg is pretty passive here. I'm not like really activating through the leg. I'm just really focusing on the stretch in this low part of my back and spine. I'm noticing if I'm kind of tensing up around the right hip, which I was, and just releasing. Again, just noticing where you're holding any tension in the body. Could be around the hips, the legs, even the shoulders. Here I'm keeping the gaze straight up, but of course you could always look over to the left. Closing your eyes, bringing your awareness internally. And let's do 3 more slow, deep breaths. Again, I've got the inside of my left foot connected to the floor. Last big breath here. And inhale the leg back to center. And then bend the knee and removing the strap. And I'm going to flip around as I twist to the left. So here, I'm going to bring both feet to the floor, the right foot to the center, left knee on top of the right knee. Both hands on the mat. I'm going to lift up the hips about an inch and then scooting the hips just an inch over to the left. Oh, actually, that's not what I'm going to do first. Here, I'm going to do Gomukhasana. I forgot. All right, left knee on top of the right. And then I'm going to grab on top of my ankles or shins. So yes, my head, neck, and shoulders are lifted here, but then I'm going to relax back. And as I do so, resting the head on the floor, I'm going to pull the ankles or the shins apart from each other and a little bit of a lift. So again, heels not towards the seat. They're lifted and pulling apart. And you can do whatever with the feet here. You can flex the ankles. Sometimes I like to do that, or you can just let the feet go. As long as you're not sickling the foot and causing any distress in the ankle. And again, I'm really feeling this in the left hip, the left low back. And really pressing the low back, the sacrum into the floor, relaxing the back of the head, the shoulder blades into the earth. Just breathing here. So yes, my arms are active, my legs are active, but there's also a sense of ease and rest and relax without totally collapsing. Deep breaths here into the hips. Continuing to find softness and release. Make sure the front of the shoulders are relaxed. Let's do 3 more deep breaths. Last big breath here. Make it big and full and round. Good. Release the hands. Now, right foot to the floor. The left knee is still on top of the right. Again, palms to the mat. Pick up the hips. Scoot them just an inch over to the left. And then gently lower both knees to the right. Again, have my left knee on top of the right knee. My left arm is going long, or I like to cactus the arm. My right hand can either be just on the floor, or I like to just rest it either on top of the thigh or the knee or even the hip. And breathing here. This might feel really tight. You might feel this even in the right hip. And again, just noticing where you're holding on to tension in the body. And noticing that area, and then just breathing in and finding if you can release and soften just a little bit more. Keep the face nice and soft, the mouth and jaw nice and soft. It can really help to close your eyes, bring your awareness internally, maybe counting the breaths, 3 more breaths. 2 more breaths. One more breath. And honestly, I feel like I could stay here all day in this stretch. So again, you can take about 10 breaths on each side. You could double that, or you can just do what you have time to do. Even just a few breaths is going to make a difference. And whenever you're ready, bringing the knees back to center, unwinding the legs, lifting the hips, placing it back to center, bringing the feet wide, letting the knees kiss, maybe the right hand on the heart, the left hand on the belly, taking a deep breath here. And letting it go. And if you like, you can bring the knees to the chest or even the knees towards the armpits. Give yourself a big, big hug. Maybe rock a little side to side. And then the hands behind the thighs, rocking up to your seat. And that's it. You could either do this as a standalone practice, or you could do this at the beginning of a yoga flow, a 60-minute yoga flow, or any length of yoga flow. You could also do this at the end of your class as well. But again, this is really good for relieving some low back pain. It's really a core release. The front of your core, the back of your core. We do so much of sort of tightening and strengthening the core, and this is the opposite of that, really giving a bit of release around the core and the spine area. So I hope this feels really great, and I'll see you next time.